Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer software testing interview question 333. That is, what is code driven testing? Let me answer. So what is code driven testing? Code driven testing is performed by creating the test for the next development item before developing it. Okay. So first let me read this one. After that I'll explain clearly. We'll clearly understand what exactly is code driven testing. Let me read this. Once the development itself, once the development item for the created test is developed, it will be tested, fixed if failed, and retested until the created test passes. Okay. Once the test is passed, then the same process is followed by creating another test for the next item to be developed. So this statement may look very big for you and you will not be able to understand what is code driven testing. So let me take it slow a bit, okay, so that you can understand what exactly is code driven testing. In code driven testing, guys, you are testing the code. Okay, we are simply testing the code. First step, we need to identify the application code where there is a possibility of failure. Okay, you see, developers will write the code, right, for developing the application. Okay, developers will write the code for developing or building the application. So after they develop the code for building the application, now developers have to guess. Okay, now developers have to guess which part of the program there is a possibility of failure. Okay, you see, there are different components in the program, different functions, different methods in the program. Software is a very complex thing, right? A lot of code has to be written by developers. So in that, if you divide that entire code written for building the software into some small components or methods or whatever it is, okay, and you guess that there is a possibility that this particular method, as a developer, you have to guess whether there is a possibility that this particular method may fail. When you get the doubt that this particular portion of the program that is written by developers for building the software may fail, then you have to immediately create a test for it. Okay, then you have to add a test for it, create a test for it, and perform the test on that code that you are guessing that there is a possibility of failure. After testing it, if really the code fails, okay, as expected or as guessed, if the code fails, whatever section of the code that you are testing, is it really getting failed with the help of the test that you have created for failing the code? Okay, if it is really fails, then next step is we have to fix the code. Okay, developers have to fix the code so that the problem or failure in the code is resolved. Okay, and again test it to see whether it is properly fixed or not. And once it is fixed, once that particular problem, detected problem is fixed, then we have to shift our focus to another set of program. Okay, another set of section of the program, again where you are guessing there is a possibility of failure. Again, for that also you have to create the test and test it. If it passes, no problem. If it fails, you have to fix it. Okay, this process has to be continued until the complete code is tested. Okay, so hope you are able to understand now what is code driven testing. First, we have to identify the existing code, section of the existing code which is likely to fail, and add a test for it. Okay, and using the test that you have just now created, you have to test the program. Okay, and see if the code is really failing as per the guessing or not. If it is really failing, then we have to fix the code so that it passes the test. Okay, until the test is passed, we have to fix the code. Okay, developers have to fix the code, and and this same process has to repeated for other sections of the program where you are guessing that there is a possibility of failure. Okay, so this is what is code driven testing. Now let me read this statement, it will be clear for you. Code driven testing is performed by creating the test for the next development item before developing it. So as a, you see, as a good practice, what the developers will do is before developing some section of the program of the code of the software, they will create a test case. Okay, they will create tests in such a way that they'll guess that using this test, the whatever the code I have written may fail. Okay, like that. Once the development item for the created test is developed, okay, it will be tested using the test that you have created, and that particular test, if the code is failing, then fix the code, okay, which is failing, and retest until the code passes. Okay, and this process should be repeated for other sections of the program. The same 4 steps I have written here. Okay, if you are not able to understand this whole paragraph at a go, you can follow step by step. Okay, first test is added for the code which is likely to fail, and using the test we are going to test it and see if the code is really failing with the test or not. If it is failing, then you have to retest and fix it and retest it until the test passes. And after that, you have, once the test passes, then you have to go with the other sections of the program where there is a possibility of the failure in the code. Okay, this is called as code driven testing. So hope guys you understood what is code driven testing in this session. So that's all for this session. The next session, I'm going to answer another software testing interview question for you. Till then, see you. Bye bye.